Hi, everybody, and welcome to Just Throwing It Out There, the podcast. Hello. As always, joining me today are my lovely co hosts. I got Melly,
Hey.
hey, Danny, Talia,
Hey y'all.
and of course, me, Sharice. And how's everybody doing today?
Feeling good.
Feeling
Good.
good. Looking at the
Good.
Ready to dip into this discussion that we're about to have as usual?
snow.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm
I'm
ready.
excited.
All right, tell the people what it's about then.
So this week we're going to discuss two films, right? I know how we do verses with the songs. This week it's sort of like a versus a film. And in not celebration of Valentine's Day because it's a made up holiday and it's not real, but having a conversation about love, we thought that we would choose a classic black film, right? Love Jones, for those of you who remember, right? Darius Love Hall and Miss Nina Mosley. And we're going to bring in something new, The Photograph, starring Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield. And so we know Love Jones, but for those of you who need a recap, right, we have Nia Long and Lorenz Tate playing Nina Mosley and Darius Love Hall, and it's set in Chicago. They even went to like a steppers ball, right? But it's a love story between these two characters. Nina's an aspiring photographer. Darius is a writer. He's about to publish his first book. So we're gonna take that and look at it alongside The Photograph, which was released last year, 2020.
2020.
2020.
And it's set in New York. Stars Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield as May and Michael. And May is the curator of an art museum, and Michael's a writer. And we look at the way that their love story develops. I would argue that the story is about something else primarily, but we'll talk about that a
I
little
would
bit.
I
too.
agree.
Yeah,
I
I
would
think
say
it.
that as well.
Yeah, so while they're the primary characters that we see, I feel that that story is about something else. So on that,
Yeah.
let's jump right into it, right? So, Sharice, you reacted to that. Tell me, what's the
Yeah.
feeling? What you feeling?
You know what? I watched this movie twice. And watching it a second time, I actually was more open to the story.
Oh, look at
Danny
that.
smiling.
I said the same
She
thing.
said the
I
same
said the
thing.
same thing.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't as harsh on it.
Can we
Um,
tell the people how
I
much
still
shade
was.
y'all threw on me when we
I'm
watched
still
I
this
threw
for
a
the
lot of
first
shade
time?
at the movie the
Still
first
throwing
time.
shade.
Y'all, listen, I was a woman standing alone on a mountain when we
Oh,
watched this
You really
movie
were.
last
time
year.
out.
oh,
Let the
I
people
mean,
know because what had happened was I didn't even know this until Talia reminded me. We did have a little during when the pandemic started. We decided to do the films like
yeah.
we for our Zooms together. We were like, let's watch this movie. Let's talk about it. I forgot we were even doing that. And then she was like, yeah, the photograph. And I was like, yeah, that's how we all started talking about the photograph. And then that's how y'all realized I hated it.
So hard.
And I watched it again and I try to watch it through another lens. And I'm still asking myself, who are these people? Who are Michael and who are May? And then I realized watching it the second time, it don't matter because the movie's not about Michael or May.
That's what, so that's literally what, I was so, I think, focused on a love story
Me too.
that I really wanted to know those characters. But
Don't
in
know them.
watching it a second time, I feel like it wasn't really
It's
about
about
them.
Christina and Isaac. I
Yeah,
feel like I know them more and their love story more
yes.
than I know Michael and May's love story. So they should have put them on a poster.
And they call it the photograph, right? They call it the photograph because it's literally about this, it's about
Yeah.
her. And literally how influential your upbringing is on your relationships with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking about my own situation, like just my own, how your parents or the whoever is your influencer around you growing up has an effect on how you relate to other people in the world. And, you know, those could be really great. There's really great qualities that come out of that. And then there's the toxic qualities as well. And some of the coping mechanisms, because all we're doing in life is trying to cope and survive and trying to, you know, come out with these best outcomes. And it was really hard for, what was her name? Her mom's name?
Christina.
Christina Ames, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So growing up with her mom, who was, you know, a little cold, a little, you know, distant, but probably it's survival tactics, right?
Yeah.
That informed how she was, you know, treating her daughter and her relationship with her daughter, and then her relationship with her daughter's father, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really thought my focus reshifted to the relationship with Issa Rae's character with her mom, and then her relationship with her mom. And
It's a different kind of love story.
I really thought, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't see the love story unfold between May and Michael. I honestly don't see how they fell in love. I don't see what I don't think it was enough there for me. And that's why I think I think that's why I initially was not a fan of the film. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna watch it again. It's not something that I'll keep rewatching because I just don't feel.
You only did it for this purpose.
I only did it for this, and I'm like, I feel like it's hard for me to watch because there's again. How did they even fall? Like, I can't see how they fell in love. I feel like we didn't get enough. They went out the one time to eat. Then they got stuck in the storm, and then they were.
But for whatever reason, it wasn't as important to me this time. Like their relationship, I'm just
like, whatever. I'll just focus on Christina and Isaac. I felt like they were more of a love story. So I'm sorry. Look at
no, but I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I do think that we are we have these romanticized definitions of love, and that's what we expect to see. So Melly, I think part of your frustration is that you wanted a 1997 Nina Mosley, Darius Love Paul, just this passion and this, you know, and all of this. Whereas what I think the photograph is asking us to consider is, first of all, you need to reconcile your relationship with your past and with yourself before you can move on. And I think it was a meme on Instagram, right? Until if you don't heal your childhood trauma, it's going to show up in your relationships, and it will, and it does. Facts. Facts.
That I will agree on. That I will agree.
And it showed up.
This is a movie. I wanted it to be a love story. And it was released on Valentine's Day. And that's what they sold it as. Exactly. It came out around Valentine's Day last year.
No, it came out on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
They sold it as a love story. I wanted a love story. And I felt like it didn't deliver the love story that I wanted. And I was like, not impressed. Like,
does it make it not a love story because there wasn't this thing? Because I think to some degree, I think the dynamic between Michael and May was more realistic. In that it mirrored the way that things kind of happen, right? It's not this. I mean, sometimes I'm not gonna say some people have this. Oh, I love you so much, and you're my everything, and I can't get enough of you, and that's just what sustains you. But more often than
it
not,
doesn't sustain you.
Well, some people
doesn't continue.
Not a lot of people, but some people. I guess this is a reality for maybe like 2% of the population. But everybody else is kind of like working through this.
Nice.
And I love that dinner scene when the two of them, like, they're going back and forth and they're having like this
one and only date that we saw.
They had other
I would say they had other dates. It just might not have been the traditional date that you were looking to see.
They connected on different things. They connected on careers. They connected on trying to find out about her mom.
Yes.
they connected on, they connected on like looking into the past and things like that. They didn't have to have a traditional.
And I kind of feel like we're talking about the underdevelopment of character. Sometimes, like Melly's like, I don't know who
I don't
they
know the
are,
people.
right? But I kind of thought with the photograph, maybe some of that was on purpose. Like when you meet somebody and you're getting to know them, you don't know who they are. They haven't known each other long enough to know who the other person is.
Then
So maybe a little bit in
then
real
let's
life,
talk about
you get
those
a little
grand
bit at a
gestures.
time.
You get a
You
little
get
bit at a
And we
whatever
know
they're trying to
Sharice
give you.
doesn't like that.
But that's the reality.
But that's the
You
reality.
get a little bit
And
at
I
a time.
okay, so then if anything,
Wait,
that was
where did I
probably the
get
realest
into that?
thing. But no, if anything, then that's the realest thing, because in the beginning you're getting the person's the representative. You're not getting the real person. You're getting their representative. As you begin to know them, that's when you start seeing the real person, right? I'll say, okay, maybe that was intentional. But again, you sold it as a love story on Valentine's Day.
Can I speak to?
And also, if that's
Put your
the
finger
case,
down, ma'am.
No, I need
got my pencil. If that's the case,
after you talk, yeah.
then off air, Sharice had mentioned these grand gestures.
Wait, we're gonna get there. Hold that.
Hands down, ma'am.
I'm already
grand gestures. Can we go back to not wanting to know everything straight up in the beginning, but I think a common thread is their need. I desire honesty, right? And however it shouldn't take you a long time to be honest. It might
be honest from the beginning.
It might take you a while to get comfortable and understanding. But if we're in a relationship, at a certain point, and this is a common thread in both of these relationships, they weren't being honest in their feelings. Like if you look at Love Jones, he didn't want her to go to New York.
But he didn't say it.
And he didn't say it.
Yep.
Like, listen, hey, I feel
that's his pride. That was pride. But that's being dishonest, but it was also his pride.
Yes, and you're saying, hey, I think that there's something there. Mm-hmm. I think that we have something. I don't know that I want you to go off with this guy, or if you're going for work, that's cool or whatever. But like, you're going to live with this guy.
Yeah, but I feel like her relationship with Raheem, I don't know what his character's name was, but y'all know Raheem. So when Nina went to New York, and she said, I feel like her dynamic with Raheem was a little more realistic. It's like, who ate all the effing toasted oats? Like, what is this about? Like, I just wanted some cereal. It wasn't romantic, and we wanted romance.
It was
so we fell for it.
It was utility. It
was real, right? Because you wake up and all you wanted was some toasted oats, and God damn it, who ate them?
And then in the photograph, she wasn't being honest either.
Right.
When he went to similar dynamic to London.
Yeah.
Like she didn't say like, hey, she just got mad at him.
Like
she just got mad. She didn't say,
they just met 2 weeks ago. What I'm gonna say to you? Don't go.
But they had a connection.
You have to say how you feel. Like make your decision. I'm not telling you not to.
I don't know those people,
but I need to let you know. But they traveled to New Orleans. He's all up in her family history.
Exactly.
He ran up with her over there after he ignored her phone. After the phone calls were ignored, then he showed up in New Orleans, and she happened to be there.
I don't think she happened. I think he knew full well that
he didn't know she was there, because when she came out the house in that yellow dress, he looked surprised.
I don't know. I think he had
watch play it back. He was not expecting her to be over there.
So you're gonna watch it again, Melly, so you can see.
I'm not.
Watch it again and let us know.
I will not.
You watch it again and let us know.
I just felt if she was more honest with her feelings about what it is, like it, in being honest in any of your truth, like whether it's good or bad, you have to, because otherwise, what are we doing?
That's what if you haven't figured that out yet?
Listen, we talked about this. I wish
say that.
We talked about this off air, and I think it was when we talked about this, I don't even know if we recorded it because it would have made for some good sharing points. I don't feel there's some things you want to keep to yourself though. I feel like there's some I feel like maybe things that directly pertain to the other person, be honest about those things, right? Like be honest about your true feelings, be honest about your intentions, be honest about where this is going, be honest about where this isn't going, right? Like those things be honest about. But I don't feel you need to know every single thing about me.
I don't know that you could ever tell anybody myself. I don't know that you could tell
everybody anything. Everything.
Can you tell? Do you know everything to tell everybody? Like to tell
about yourself?
No, you don't know everything about yourself.
Right,
like
you're
just tell everybody. But things,
if it pertains to
the relationship,
you're talking about a relationship. You're talking about building. You're talking about your feelings.
Yes.
You're talking about things that make you.
Be honest, absolutely about that.
And I don't feel like any of that existed with Nina and Darius Love Hall. I know that. Listen, I'm a Love Jones fan. I love that movie. I can watch it any day, anytime. But when I think about substance and like real development of these characters, like I don't know much about Nina. I don't know very much about Darius. I know what they do in their interactions with other people, but that real deep intimacy,
it's not there.
It wasn't there. I feel like it was very surface. It was very primal.
Lust.
Doesn't it speak to their age though too? Like it speaks to their age. Like they were very career minded. They were very. I don't think they were. I think they were early 20s. Like to be honest, like
I don't think they were that young.
Mid 25.
Because she had a whole relationship living with somebody else, and she was pretty established as a photographer.
Wasn't old.
Raheem.
Marvin.
Trying to bring us facts. I don't know who Marvin is. If you said that, I'd be like, who, Raheem? Oh, okay.
I do feel like Issa Rae and Lakeith Stansfield are in their early 30s.
In the movie.
I kind of felt the same with Darius and Nina.
No.
I feel like they were.
I don't.
I don't think
they acted very immature.
What's his name? Isaiah Washington's character. He was full on married. They had a family.
Nobody else was. Nobody else was.
Sheila had a long-term relationship.
Sheila was in a relationship, and what's her name? Come live with me and be my love.
With who?
Who? Sheila. They never show him, but they talk about her and being in a relationship.
She was always acting crazy. Who was she?
She was, but I enjoyed her character.
I mean, I just feel like their vibe was very mature. I feel like it was a mature vibe. No. Darius was a full-on, so he had a full smoking habit. Like I feel like he was older.
Why I felt, but hold on, that's why I felt it was wrong, because I felt like that's something that I felt was off, because they're clearly young. If you look at how old, I don't know how old Lorenz Tate is in this. He's no older than mid-20s.
In the movie?
In real life.
In real life, he's no older than mid-20s at this time.
Because we were mid-20s and he's slightly older than us. This came out in 97.
Lorenz, I'm looking it up because I really need to know.
That's 20 for us. He might have been like 25.
45.
He's 25.
They were older. They were acting older, but they weren't older.
What's that?
He's 2 years older than us.
2 years older than whom?
Than people who were the kind of age that was.
How old is he in 1997? If he's 45 now, I can't do math. Why y'all got me doing this? I teach kindergarten.
22.
Now you're just throwing numbers out. I know they're not right.
22.
22, I think.
And that's how they were acting.
No,
I don't think they were that young.
They were acting 22.
The relationship level.
They were 22. There's no.
Yes, that's how they were acting, and it didn't match up with them going to the word club. It didn't match up with.
So you feel like the things that they casted them in roles that were older than they were as people.
Yes, even Raheem, like he was.
He cannot be 22. That was
have the swag.
Not acting like 22-year-olds.
Huh?
No, I think they were playing older characters. There's no way.
But I'm telling you, the energy and the lack of.
And if he was too why he didn't catch that train. Because he smokes.
And the lack of emotional, like Talia said, it was very superficial. It was more
lust,
based on passion and lust, but also in the inability to know who they are and to express their actual feelings towards each other. Because why couldn't she have said early on, like, I saw you with this girl, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I just like,
and everything was impulsive and reactive as opposed to you know, and the fear of vulnerability, which I think it takes a long time to get over that.
She literally couldn't tell. She would rather create a terrible spoken word poem and recite it.
It wasn't
tell him actually how he felt. And what I loved about going back to the movie is that there was only 2 spoken word poems. Thank God. One in the beginning, one in the end. Thank God. I was like, you know what? Because I was like, I haven't seen Love Jones in so long. And I'm like, I had a good feeling about it. Right. And I'm like, I wonder why, like, you hate spoken word. Like, what the hell?
It wasn't really
only in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was
and that's how it is on the soundtrack too. They put his poem at the beginning.
Who am I?
Thank
they called me brother to the night. Yes, there it is. Yes.
The funk in your right. Like, I was like, oh,
Sharice hates spoken word, y'all. If you don't know that, Sharice can't stand it.
It's not an inability to understand what you're talking about. Like, I guess I'm
write it in a sentence.
I don't like the mystery of it.
Yes,
I love it. I love it. Come on.
Just tell me what you want to tell me.
I don't think I didn't hate it because
tell me what you want to tell me.
The English teacher is very disappointed in this conversation.
I don't think I hated it because it was him doing it. If somebody else
putting around what you want to say.
Like, I think if Lorenz Tate was reciting it to me, I would be like, okay.
I don't care who says it. I don't like it.
Because it was because of the vessel used to deliver the message. I'll take it. But I'm not a fan of poems. Don't write me a poem.
I don't know what he was talking about.
I don't need a poem.
There was a place in Montclair I
remember that place.
You remember that place in Montclair? And I used to sit up in there. It was a spoken word place, and I used to sit up in there.
Wasn't it like a tiny? Wasn't it like an art museum or something? Was it in a museum?
It was.
Yeah, I love that place. It was. I felt so grown up going there, and it was great.
Like, I believe they were so young in this movie.
Yeah.
It throws it off a little bit for me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like their dynamic was very superficial, and I feel like Christina, and there's a quote in the very beginning of the film when May is trying to, just grapple with all the things that are going on with her mom's death. Mm-hmm. And Courtney B. Vance says to her that, and I'm going to read it because I don't, he said, she wasn't just your mother, right? At some point, you're going to have to forgive her and realize she was just a woman with flaws. And I think when you grow up, that's something that you really, really have to reconcile with your relationship with your parents, is that they are just flawed individuals and they just happen to have a kid. And, in the midst of all that. Yeah, in the midst of all that. So, and I love that.
And a woman.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. All their flaws.
You're probably younger than what age you are when you start to realize, when they had you, when you start to realize, like, oh my God, no, you look like, what if I had a kid at that age?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it.
Just be out of control.
Like in full on like relationships and responsibility and and so you have to forgive a little bit of that. So I think the photograph was also a little like thematically was about forgiveness and learning about and breaking generational cycles. I think it was fitting that we saw May's grandmother, Christina, and then May, because we got to see that development of not necessarily them as characters, but their generational space.
Yes. And then how big was it of Issa Rae's character to have to do that big grand gesture? Because that's something her mother would have never done for anybody.
And maybe she learned from exploring, through her mother's letter. They gave her a
not
lot of
she's
information.
not gonna wait 30 years
She's not
to
gonna
tell
make the
somebody they
mistake.
love them or whatever. She's gonna do it right now.
But
You-
if you notice, they never said "I love you." Did you
or
guys
not
pick up
I
on
love
that?
you or whatever.
No, I'm just
I
saying
love
that
you.
in Love Jones, it comes at the very
They
end.
don't love each other. No, just kidding.
In Love Jones, it comes at the very end, and in the photograph,
they
it
love each
never
other?
comes up at all. In not in Christina and Isaac's relationship either. You never hear that word
Hmm.
Yeah.
in the movie.
Wow.
She said, "I wish I was good at
As love, as good as
love as I am at working."
working.
And that's another thing, like survival,
Yeah.
like survival tactics.
She definitely needed the survival taxes. She
Like
was
I
got
need
to
to
New
get
York
this
and she was
work. My mom,
pregnant.
yeah, my mom threw me out. She said she threw her out, right? She
Right.
said, "You got to get out this house. 2 grown women can't be in this house."
Threw her out.
I think
And
2
then
grown women can't be in
She
this
gets
house.
to New York, she's pregnant, so she don't have no choice but to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's committed to taking these like awesome pictures. Like, and anytime you can convert something artistic into monetary like a monetary living, like you are grinding and going hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everyone tells you that, like, or growing up for me, that being an artist wasn't a thing to do, which is weird considering my dad. Well, no, okay, I'm going back into my own thing. I don't even want to go there. Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Making connections.
Yep.
But like being an artist and actually making money doing it is, to me, it's awesome. It's an amazing feat to be able to do that. So for her to have been able to do that, that she was determined, ambitious, moving to New York pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then to make it work, because you saw her badass apartment.
Yo,
Exactly.
talk about that apartment
In New York.
That
But
apartment
here's
is
the
worth
funny
millions.
thing. Here's the funny thing about that apartment. Her apartment was bomb. Like her apartment was so dope. If your apartment is that dope, why you don't got no backup generator when the lights go out?
Oh
Why-
wait,
I was talking about Christina's
the
apartment. I wasn't even
Christina's
talking about
apartment.
May's
Christina's.
apartment.
Yeah,
Because she had like floors and levels. I mean, May's apartment
May's
was
apartment
dope.
was dope, but she didn't
But
have no.
Christina's apartment, yo,
Was a whole nother level.
Christina's apartment was insane.
exactly.
Insane. And I think that just shows how successful she actually was, right?
Right.
The place is huge.
and what I liked about the way that the photograph ended, if we're looking at it side by side with Love Jones, although we don't know what's going to become of either of these relationships with
Right.
May and Michael or Nina and Darius. But I feel like there was this sense of I don't have to give up my career and what I love in order to be in a relationship with you. And so I like that because we saw how it ended for Christina and we were able to see the entire story go full circle, right? We saw from beginning to end how it worked out for her. And we see May making other choices, but she's not saying, well, I'm just going to come to London and live with you, or, we're just going to do this.
No, she only went over there to see the show.
She bought Kendrick Lamar tickets. That was it. That was it. No more, no less. But I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And that's all I can do right now.
And they have the I guess
means.
economic status to be able to do that.
And he had put that out there before he left. Like that
Yes.
was his thing. She was the one who was like, long distance relationships don't work.
Who says?
No,
Like,
that's what she said.
I know, but like when
Where'd
she
she
said
get
that,
that
I was
from?
like, wait a minute, like that. Hold on a minute. You just-
Maybe she had one and they didn't tell us about. I don't know.
you just
I don't know. We don't know nothing about those people.
What did you all think of if we're looking at the way that they were both shot? Because they had similarities in the cinematography. And like, were there any scenes or anything that was done artistically in that way that stood out to you guys?
The black and white
Lady
photos in both films. The
The
black and white
photos.
photos.
Okay.
Yeah, the photos
There
themselves.
was a lot of similarity between the photos that Christina
Mhm.
took and Nina took, as far as because they were real life photos of
Mhm.
people
Real
and
people.
just ordinary people doing things, but in night, like catching nice candid shots of that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mhm.
a
what
lot of
about
similarity there.
all the damn rain in both movies? It was always raining in Love Jones.
Because rain is dramatic.
It
Rain is
was
so
raining
dramatic.
every
Rain is
scene in Love
dramatic.
Jones. Rain.
Mhm.
And then the whole big old storm, it was raining, like rain played a huge part in
I just don't understand how they didn't have no generators.
Well,
And-
the rain and the whole reason for Michael going to New Orleans was to talk to Isaac about the
Hurricane Katrina.
post Katrina, right?
Mhm.
So you have this idea of a storm being the impetus that brought all of this together in the first place. And then you have the hurricane in New York that happens at the time. Which I wonder what hurricane that was. I wonder if it was supposed to be the one. Remember,
It wasn't
Sharice, you said
Sandy.
people were defecating in the hallways.
Which one was that,
Sandy.
Irene or Sandy?
Sandy?
It was Sandy.
Sandy.
And then you know what was making me nervous that gave me PTSD? It triggered my PTSD. Them walking in the streets right after the hurricane.
Wandering.
I don't know if y'all know, but a couple got killed by a big ass tree branch. They went outside to like walk, right? You know about that story,
No.
right?
That stuff, and that happens.
And that happens like you don't go outside like right
Oh,
after.
right after the storm, you don't go outside. It's not stable.
It's
The
not
trees
safe.
are not stable.
And so, like, them casually strolling the streets made me so nervous. I was like, if y'all don't get your asses back in the house, the two of y'all walking the streets, like, want to go outside?
And I'm just thinking about
It's
down
debris.
wires.
It was
and
debris in the
everything.
middle of the road.
Debris.
Yes.
Yeah, the debris was making me nervous. Like, it was-
Again, dramatic scenes and dramatic weather. Whatever.
why y'all walking through these trees and bushes?
I can't. I cannot.
But I did.
A scene that had me going, y'all, was if we're talking about the photograph in when Christina goes back home and she's at the bus station and she just breaks down and starts crying. Like, I felt that. I don't know. Like,
Christina.
what'd you say?
I said we know Christina.
Can you just accept that this story is not necessarily about May and Michael?
I accepted
Not,
that.
I
I accepted that the second time I watched it. I realized it's not about them at all. It's about Christina and Isaac. And I like Christina and Isaac's story. I enjoy their story.
You know why that scene was so powerful to me? That same scene, like the whole thing from when she's driving in the truck with him and they go into the station is because it's little May there observing all of this.
Yep.
And
These
and
adult
having to
interactions.
comfort somebody who is not emotionally available to her, but she is comforting her.
Yeah.
And I just think that happens all the time. Like, you know, and I just felt my heart broke for her because you know it's that whole love dynamic, like I'm here to comfort you, but she wasn't ultimately, as you learn, she wasn't given that same that same comfort. She was not available to her in that way.
And that's what she craved. And that's what bothered her the most about her relationship with her mother, is that her mother didn't have that. But we understand it because we were able to see the dynamic between Christina and her mother. So we were able to see why and how that came to be. But May doesn't have the luxury of having that information. And her mother wasn't open about it, right? I mean, she's writing all this revelatory information in a letter at the end, which tells you so much about their dynamic and their relationship. But yeah,
the letter
for
that
me,
that hurt. Like
the letter that May carried in the storm to the brother's house.
She did have it in every single scene. She had the letter.
I don't know. For me, that scene in the bus depot, I'll call it, especially since it was so long ago. I saw, and I wasn't even thinking about it from May's perspective, but for the mom, I saw that she was being really strong in front of Isaac, but like that was her opportunity because, and this happens a
Tell him.
lot. You put on this strong front. No, not her opportunity to tell him, but you put on this strong front, and then as soon as you're separated from the situation or you're by yourself, that's when all of the pain comes out. And so she just needed a second to release it. She had to get her little cry out, and then she was like done with it. You could tell she put it away, and she never revisited.
She didn't.
And maybe it came out in her art, we don't
Right.
know. But
Right.
it's just and that's such a real situation. Like, how many times have you like had to cry real quick in the shower
And then
and
pull yourself
get it
together.
out and pull yourself together and go out and, be mom, wife, friend, daughter, whatever role you're playing, and for people. But she's in a bus station. I just felt she was like so exposed, and because people see you.
She couldn't
What's
hold
with
it.
all these movies and the people hiding their children and not letting the daddies know that they got babies?
It reminded me of Sylvie's Love also.
I feel like it's a thing. Like, was this a thing that really happened? Because to your point, I feel like it comes up in a lot of these narratives
It's not a
that
good
we're
thing
seeing.
to do.
It's
not a
not.
good idea. It's not a good idea. Like,
Like,
God.
don't go that route. If that's what you're thinking, don't go that route.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But then for these women, right? Are you making, like, what kind of choice do you feel that you're making when you're in that situation? Like, what was her reasoning for?
When did she find out she was like, I couldn't place in the movie. They never talked about when she actually figured out she was like, did she know she was pregnant when she went down for her mother's funeral?
I think, but she saw him with that other woman.
Yeah,
right, but when did she know she was pregnant?
She had to have been pregnant around.
No, I'm not saying she wasn't. When did she know?
Yeah,
because it's not clear to us if she knew when she went back down there.
Oh,
it's not clear to us that she knew.
I think she knew. I think she knew when she went back down. I think she knew. Okay. Because she was away. It's not made clear. And remember, she didn't.
She knew in New York.
She was in New York, and she knew.
Yeah,
okay. Because she was gone. She was gone for a minute, and that's where she found out. And then she came home. Yeah,
like I just don't.
Like, why don't you call him then? Because she didn't know he was married. So why she didn't call him? She didn't know he was married yet. Why didn't she call him then when she found out?
This baby, like, I know you just gotta let him know. Even if you just need to like let him know. Like, I'm not saying you gotta.
Like, I don't need you to do anything, but you at least.
I just gotta let you know. I just want you to know.
And I feel like these women feel like they're doing a favor to the man by not informing him, because in this case he had a whole other new relationship going on. And if we're going back to Sylvie's Love, right, she didn't want to prevent him from pursuing his. I know.
Again,
those are things in relationships that you do tell the truth. This is one of the times
I'm talking about. See the slippery slope, Melissa?
No, it's not a slippery.
This is not a slippery.
This is completely separate from all that other stuff.
You think it's okay to hold back this story?
Call it a slippery slope.
Okay to hold back this story?
No.
This is a definitely must know situation.
Point proven.
No, I've already told you off air.
There's some things you don't
know. Things that you don't need to know.
There's just some things you don't say. You
don't
need to know yourself.
I've already shared that with you. You don't need to know it.
Some things
if you are my baby daddy, you need to know it.
Yes, that's important information. That everyone needs to be on.
The both of us. That involves you and I. So you need to know. The other stuff we talked about didn't involve you and I, so you don't need to know. I pick and choose which ones, what you need to know, what you don't need to know when it doesn't pertain to you directly.
Slippery slope.
It's not?
I don't think so.
Let me see if there's anything else I need to cover.
I want to say one more thing though about Christina's mom.
Oh, okay.
Just like, I don't know if we saw enough. I think we're a little hard on her mom, but I don't know if we saw enough of their relationship to say that she was always like that, because it kind of comes out at the funeral that maybe she pushed her away because she knew she was sick. She didn't want her to see her decline. I don't know if you guys remember that in the scene.
But did she push her was that?
I don't know.
Watching when she
That's the
was
thing. My
already-
thing is we don't know.
Yeah, we
Pretty
don't
tough.
know.
She
But I
did seem
do-
tough, but
I feel like that's just a display of just women in general, not just moms and daughters, but women in general, not sharing information with people because we don't want to be pitied, or maybe we don't
Yeah.
want to burden other people. You know, and this is not, it's off topic, but it's not. But like, I just remember, and I'm probably oversharing here, but like when I had my first miscarriage, I didn't know that lots of women have miscarriages and that it's, you know, it's commonplace, right? Because this is something that people don't really discuss. And I feel like, especially with Black mothers and Black women, we find that in our community, and Melly, I can't speak to Latinos, you can tell me, but we are not very forthcoming when it comes to medical information. And I'm sure everyone on this place has a relative or someone who like, oh, well, we didn't find out she was sick until the very end.
Mm-hmm. It happens, and it happens.
There's
in the
some
Latino
things we don't
community.
talk about, Melly. This is the
No,
toxic. This is what I'm telling you.
but
It's a
there's
no.
something,
but it all relates.
it doesn't all relate because
It does.
again, you want to lump all these truths together, but some truth can't be lumped together. Some
Right.
truth cannot be lumped
It
together.
sounds like somebody
Some
that
things
doesn't
are
want to be honest.
specific to you and I, and some of my truths are not specific
But-
to you and I. So
But
I
listen,
don't
your
need
health
to
is
share that.
is your own to your
Your health is your own.
thing. However,
Your health affects those who are around you and care about you.
but you could have the mindset to say that it doesn't.
You can, but does it make it right?
Well, I mean, at the time, let's be fair to Christina, the character. She and Courtney B. Vance were not in a relationship anymore. So he didn't necessarily, right? They were separated or whatever.
I didn't
right?
know they were separated.
Well, she had her
Yeah.
own place. He didn't
She had
even
her own
live there.
place.
But I didn't.
Like, they didn't even live together, right?
Yeah, so
I
they
don't
weren't
know.
together. I feel like they weren't together because they didn't live together.
Speaking of knowing your truth, I found it particularly comforting to know that Courtney B. Vance knew that Isaac was May's dad the whole time, because I was worried about that. I'm like, well, did she misrepresent? He knew from the very beginning.
He said he
and
met her
chose.
pregnant, right? Didn't he meet her pregnant?
He
3
met
months
her
Yeah.
pregnant. Yeah, she was already pregnant when they met. And the fact that he held on to that for her, because he could have told May, they're obviously close. And I feel like, you know, I don't know. It was like, oh, that was very sweet.
Like the daddy and Sylvie's love.
Like the
Snitch
daddy.
on his
Like
daughter.
Lacey, that was his name?
No,
No.
her father.
Oh, the real
Sylvie's
father.
father.
Father. Sylvie's dad.
The man from The Wire.
He told.
He
Yes,
told.
he did.
He did tell.
He did tell.
Something
Well,
you need
ladies,
to know.
you know what? This was a great discussion.
I know. I
We could
feel
go
like we
on
can
and
go
on.
on and on because I did want to talk about these men and their pride, but we'll leave that for another episode.
What about Issa Rae's pride?
These women had a little pride
These
too,
had
I
a
was
little
going to
pride
say.
too.
These women had some pride
Listen,
things going on
Christina
too.
had a pride thing going on.
Mhm.
Issa Rae had a pride thing going on.
So maybe in general, it's an overall issue that affects
Yeah.
relationships, no matter which
And-
side it comes
It
from.
is.
it might be a pride in relationships and not
You got
necessarily.
to do away with
pride.
pride in relationships
We're
because
gonna talk about it.
communication.
But
good
I
Lord.
think everywhere in this, especially now, but you know, we're in this culture where it's like, well, I don't want to be played and I don't want to look foolish.
And I don't want to be dependent.
Well,
I don't want to
play
be
yourself
dependent.
Yep.
when you're not
I'm above love, right? And you're not. So yeah,
No,
but
you
we could
have
go
to-
on. Folks,
you
hit
have
us
to
up
be
if there's
vulnerable.
anything that you still want to discuss. We could take
Yes.
this conversation offline in the comments. So comment below if there's anything you think we missed. I loved both films. And I could watch them over and over and over and over.
I'm not watching
Danny.
the photograph no more.
I'll say I love Love Jones, but I will say that the first time I watched The Photograph, I didn't think I would ever watch it again. I enjoyed it much more the second time, and I would watch it again.
I agree with Danny. Like I've come around to
Look at Melly's
I would recommend a watch.
Mhm.
I would definitely recommend a watch. And maybe this speaks to watching films, giving it a second second chance.
Yes.
Maybe watching it, maybe seeing it from a different perspective.
I gave you a second chance. I'm done. Thank you.
So like, if it wasn't marketed on Valentine's Day as a love story, do you
I
think
still
you-
wouldn't have. I don't think it would have been my thing. I
The
like love
marketing didn't have
love
anything
stories.
to do with why.
Listen, I'm a love story girl. I love stories. I love rom-coms. I love all those things. That's what I wanted. No matter what time of year it was, that's what I wanted. Sorry, not sorry.
Also,
Sorry, not
one thing
sorry.
that I did pick up. Wait, in watching it the second time, you know the girl from Hamilton that sings.
Oh yeah, Eliza.
No, she's this. Yeah, she's one of the Schuyler sisters, but she also is the girl that Hamilton cheats with.
Peggy?
Yeah.
Yes, she's also Peggy.
No, that's not her name. Her
Maria
name,
somebody. Yeah.
Something.
Maria.
Yeah,
it's
but
not Peggy, but
No,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. I don't wanna
You're
say
too
no.
kind, sir.
Yes,
I get none
that's
of these
her.
references.
That's
I'm,
Issa
I'm
Rae's
in the
friend.
minority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
she's the
yeah.
what?
She's Issa
She's
Rae's friend. Fun fact.
She's the girl.
Not a close friend because she didn't tell her she was messing around with that guy. But whatever. I've
But
digressed.
wait, again, women's pride. Like she just didn't want her to know. Like I don't
Messing with.
want to be vulnerable, but I like
It's
this.
like a whole
I
nother.
like the ratchet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like him, but I don't want to
I
tell
like
you.
him, but I don't want to talk about it. I like him, but I don't want to talk about it. Go on.
Okay, so y'all, we're gonna move on. Okay,
Moving on.
let's move on because we have some versus business to tend to.
I'm doing. Oh, that's
Is
cute.
it a Kanye West?
Is it a Kanye versus?
Is it?
No.
Oh.
You're
It's
doing
nice
it,
though.
Melissa.
I like the color. So here's my verses, guys. I took from my favorite of the two films, Love Jones. Surprise, surprise.
Ah,
I went with Maxwell,
okay.
and they had the slow version of something something on the soundtrack, but I'm gonna bring it to the fast version of something something.
Okay.
And so it's something something the original faster version,
Okay.
and the Get to Know Ya.
Ooh.
Yes.
How can I get to know you?
Know ya. Know ya. Ooh, that's the stuff. But so
okay. I don't know. Get to Know You was just, it was it's a feel good song for me.
Something's a classic though. Like you
I
could
know.
put that on at anywhere, anytime.
we can do a little something. It's good.
Where is Maxwell, by the way?
On
On Instagram.
No, he is. I
Does
follow
he have
him.
any plans of doing something off of Instagram? Like
That he has material. He has a lot of material that mainstream doesn't. They're not checking for. That's what I allegedly.
but that was a long time ago. That was before Pretty Wings. I remember
No.
hearing some of the
Black Knights.
The pronouns in the songs weren't matching up to the way people expect pronouns to be.
Yeah, but I think that was after. I think the Pretty Wings one was already in the works, and he had like, I don't know. That was just what I heard. That he had like a whole catalog of stuff, and maybe he's protesting. I don't know.
I hope he comes back with some stuff because he's got
I
some
like Pretty Wings too.
I keep things and I keep. Y'all didn't decide yet, though. I do have another Max.
I'm gonna go with something.
I'm going with Get to Know You.
I'm going with Get to Know You.
Danny.
Danny.
I already said something.
Oh, well,
Okay, so it's a tie.
tie. I did have we got time? I did have another Maxwell just in case.
Okay. Pretty
This-
Wings.
No. These two songs I keep are in rotation. They're like my Saturday morning cleaning song. Like these are my jams.
Okay.
So it's Let's Not Play the Game and No One. The Let's Not Play the Game is from the Best Man soundtrack.
I remember less.
Sing it.
As one of the sexiest videos.
Sing it.
All I ever wanted to give you was a little bit of loving. All I wanted to give you was a little bit of happy. Oh, but apparently you only really wanted the money. Let's not play the game.
Danny's doing
Okay.
research.
Play the game. You don't remember last night? And it had the video. Oh, the way that video was shot is so sexy. And it had the guys from The Best Man in it. And they
That's
were like,
one of my favorite movies.
and
you
it
know.
freezes.
Is it?
It
Wow,
is.
is
I
it?
really like Best Man. I really
That-
like.
I think
That video.
I feel like
Love.
Regina what's her name?
That's
Regina
what it-
Hall.
Regina Hall
Uh-huh.
made like gave that movie some heart.
Yeah. I don't know. I just it's
Like
just
her
a.
character,
Mhm.
I think like gave that movie a different like just a different vibe. And I think Regina Hall is pretty much like she's very underrated.
Oh yeah, she's
I love it.
hilarious.
I
She
agree.
is hilarious.
She is hilarious.
She doesn't get enough props.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. Now-
I really enjoy her work.
Yeah.
I can watch Little over and over again. I
Yeah,
love it.
that's
That
such a
movie-
good
that movie was
film.
That was my stuff.
Little Diane from Blackish, she is a powerhouse. I can't wait
me
to
tell
watch
you.
her career trajectory because
Yes,
she is a beast.
Diane.
she really is. Did you see her little Instagram when she's doing it with her awards?
Yes, I follow
Diane.
her on Instagram. She's so cute.
She's really- y'all didn't pick.
So
And
okay,
then you know, so let's not play the game and no one.
What's no one?
If
no
I
one quite
it
like,
over,
no one quite
if I
like you.
do it
Try to
again.
forget you.
Yes.
Oh, I like no
All
one.
I
I'm
wanna
going with
do-
no one.
I like no one.
I like them both, but no one. No one.
No one.
No one, yeah.
Yes, I was over. I had to pull it up and listen to it again so I could hear everything. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's hard for me because
No
I
one.
really do keep these two on constant rotation because these are my jams.
I'm
Did we
still
all
sitting
go
looking
see
at
Maxwell?
Yes,
did.
I did. Alicia Keys opened up for him.
Yeah.
Wasn't that when you passed out?
No, that was the wrong. Nope.
Y'all pick who picked what? Danny, you picked what? No one?
Mm-hmm.
All of y'all picked no one?
I
Mhm.
did, yeah. What did you pick?
She didn't.
That's
hard.
She
I
didn't.
can't. I'm gonna I love here's the thing.
Someone has a gun to your head. Someone has a gun to your head. Someone has a gun to your
No
head.
one.
There you go.
But the
That's-
Let's Not
there's
Play
no-
the Game.
don't have
But the
to.
video is I feel like the video for Let's Not Play the Game. Oh, I love that video.
Maybe one day we should do a videos versus.
We should. That video is so dope. Y'all remember that video? Y'all remember
Teresa's
that video?
stink eyeing because we gave her shade
Do
about
me
it.
a favor and go watch the video when we finish this.
I've never seen that video before.
Oh my God, it's so
Teresa,
hot.
I
When
see
did this
your
song
face,
come out?
ma'am?
When did this song come out?
Whenever the best
That
man-
is side eye.
You
Yeah,
can
see,
just
I
watch-
wasn't watching videos by 99.
That is.
I was watching that video.
I didn't watch videos after high school.
That video was hot.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
watch
think I
any
had a
videos after high
platform to
school.
watch videos on.
I watched the videos.
Yeah,
Like,
any-
after
videos
Video
after high
Soul,
school.
Like once that Video Soul and Video Music Box were gone, I don't even know where to go to watch videos anymore.
Once Donnie Simpson no longer.
No,
Sherry, what was her name? Sherry. The
Sherry.
black
I'm
lady.
sorry, my age doing that beat, huh?
Oh man, I want to know what her last name is because she was great.
Sherry Shepherd. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, that's the comedian.
And Sherry Harper is the lady from Coming to America.
I don't know her last name.
I don't know who that's. We'll Google it later.
Yes, we'll put it in the.
Oh no, Siri was listening to me. She's like, I found the name of the girl from Coming
Sherry
to America.
Headley.
Sherry Headley.
Oh, okay.
No, but no, that's Sherry Headley from Coming to America, not Sherry from Video Soul, who used to fill in when Donnie wasn't there. She used to do her thing, and then she had her own little thing.
Who didn't she do who did Video Vibration?
It might have been her,
She was Video Vibration.
and but she also
don't
sometimes
know.
filled in on Video Soul because remember there's that episode where they're talking about in the New Edition movie they recreate when she's
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
When they go in and do the interview and act foolish.
and then the interview is crazy.
Yep.
We need to do a
Where
whole.
can I stream the New Edition movie? Like, I feel like I need to be able to watch that whenever I want to see it.
You,
Like, I want to
Oh, that's a
purchase.
good question.
I want
part
to be
one is
able to
definitely
own
on
it.
YouTube,
Yeah, but I just want to have it
like
and
the
just
real version.
like I just want to watch it when I want to.
I wonder if it's on like Prime. and you
That
can
was
buy
like the best. That was the best week of TV in my
It
whole
was
life.
so good.
I've never felt that way as an adult about anything coming on television.
It was
before.
so good.
It was fantastic.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And the
When
Bobby
it-
Brown story was okay, but the New Edition one was like the first one out. You got all the music, you got all the experience.
What happened when
And poor Ricky with his substance abuse issues. Oh man,
I wanna know. I wanna know.
Yeah, now y'all got me wanting to watch it again.
I want to see it.
It was
Y'all
so
put in
good.
the comments if y'all know where we can watch it, and I don't mind paying for it. I just want to see it when I want to see it.
I think part
Yeah,
one
that might be
is
worth
definitely
purchasing.
on YouTube.
Okay.
And the only reason I know about part one is because when you when you put in like a bunch of different stuff, it
Mhm.
gears stuff
Pops
towards
up.
you. So
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
the BET New Edition story
I
part
think-
one.
Like two things, and I also want to be able to watch the Jacksons, American
American
Dream.
Dream.
I want to be
Yes,
able
that
to
was
watch
great.
those
That was
two
so
miniseries whenever
good.
I want to. And as a Black person in America on Black History Month, who Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, y'all need to make that happen for us as citizens because you're holding us back. These are critical stories. I want to show them to my kids. My kids watched the New Edition episodes, but American Dream, like I want to show it to them. They
Remember
should
when
see
the
it.
rat died?
I
And
do.
Joe was like, "Oh no!" I mean, no. Mike was like,
Michael.
the rat," and Joe was like, "Good, we got him."
Poor Joe, he couldn't catch a break in that film.
I bet
It
Joe
seems like it's on Prime.
What's on Prime?
What's on Prime? Which one?
The New Edition story.
I have
Get
a
outta
Joe
here.
Jackson story. Maybe we'll bring it out one
Live.
day.
Part one, part two.
It's on Prime.
Part one, part two.
I gotta pay for it. Can I buy it and own the content so I can watch it when I want it?
three.
It's all on Prime.
Part one is that
All of it?
Are you telling me it's
See
all
part
there?
one.
It said I'm on my phone. So
I have to subscribe to something.
I don't think you did.
Subscribe and watch. That's what it says. That's all right. This is gonna be what I
Put it on
do.
the watch list. We'll put it. We'll
More
discuss.
details. All right. We are we doing the last versus Smelly? What you got?
I think that was it.
I think
That was
I
it?
third one. We got
third.
Real
I'll-
quick.
I'm
Do it
always-
right quick.
some
Quick,
extra
quick.
stuff.
Lightning
I went with Lauren Hill.
Lauren Hill? Okay. Lightning.
Lauren Hill. I did Sweetest Thing because it was on Love Jones.
Okay.
And then I did I was torn, so it's a three-peat. Sorry.
No,
I
no.
missed that. What?
But
Sweetest
here's the
Thing.
thing. I couldn't decide what the second song would be, so I have 3 songs listed.
Sweetest Thing.
When It Hurts So Bad
When it hurts so bad.
and Nothing Even Matters.
Oh, come on. Nothing even matters all day long. With
That's it.
D'Angelo?
Yeah, I mean, if that's your choice.
That's not fair. You need to take that out.
Well, it originally is the third one. It's not the
Shouldn't be-
original.
It shouldn't be nothing even
I have
matters.
2 little lines.
Come on.
If it's between the first two, I'm choosing Sweetest Thing. But if you add Nothing Even Matters to it, then I'm choosing that.
If it's between Sweetest Thing and When It Hurts So Bad, I actually like Sweetest So Bad a little more.
At all. Nothing even matters.
You can't put Nothing Even matters in.
Come on. Don't
I
put
mean, you
that
can.
out.
You
I can do
can.
what I
I'll
want.
take it if
Snapping.
you put it in.
I can
The
do what I
snapping
want.
in the song.
Would you say you can do what you want? Well, put it in. I'll go with Nothing.
Go ahead. I mean, y'all gonna pick
That's
that
the-
one anyway. That's why I'm like, I put that as a third one.
That's
but
hers entire blueprint.
Mhm.
Nothing even matters. That's her blueprint. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my career. I'm gonna think of my career based off of this song. Let me do this song and figure my career out around Nothing Even Matters. Like that's what she said. That's what she decided to do.
did we see? No, we didn't see Lauren.
No,
Hill.
Nothing Even Matters would be it. But if not,
Yeah.
then Sweetest Thing.
How could
Yeah.
you deny
You know.
Nothing Even Matters? How could you deny
I didn't
it?
say I'm not denying Nothing Even Matters.
I
said
mean, but why would
between-
you like?
How would I
you-
put it there? Because I do what I want. I do what I want.
All right, y'all. Danny got a
Hey, I
message for us.
appreciate your honesty.
Danny, what's your message? They gonna argue all day.
They sure are. All right. So we just really want to thank everyone for tuning in. Melly's still talking about she'll do what she wants. So we just want to put it out there that we have new episodes dropping every Wednesday, okay? And we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor, okay? So you can check us out on any of those things. Also, we have merch and other fun announcements coming soon. Yes. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.